Do you need help with your holiday leftovers? I certainly do. I have a refrigerator full of them after entertaining on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and then another celebration with the friends the day after. So I have lots of disparate meals. I could keep reserving them in the same form they were in the first place, but that would get pretty boring. So what I'm going to share with you today is one of my favorites, scalloped potatoes with ham. And what's really cool about it is you can make one or several of them, depending on how much ham you have today, freeze them, and take them out in a few months. So let's get started. For ingredients, we're going to need some leftover ham, potatoes, onion, parsley, flour, milk, and butter. And for utensils, I'm going to use a food processor. You could also use a knife and a cutting board or a mandolin. A large pot of water. I have my pasta insert in here because that's going to make it easier than draining the potatoes into a colander. A 2-cup measuring cup and an 8-cup measuring cup. The 8-cup measuring cup is to make the white sauce in the microwave. You'll also need a whisk, a sharp knife, and some measuring spoons. We're going to get started with the white sauce. I'm going to melt the butter in the microwave with 2 tablespoons of flour and a pinch of salt. If you like pepper, you can feel free to use that at the same time. I'm not a huge pepper fan. I'm going to melt that for about a minute, and while I am doing that, I'm going to turn the water that I have added into my pot on high so that it's boiling. You want the water about 2 inches above the bottom. So if you are going to boil your potatoes and put them in a colander, it would be 2 inches from the flat bottom. If you're using a pasta insert like I am, it's 2 inches above the bottom of that. We're going to boil the potatoes, par cook them, for 2 reasons. It makes the scalloped potatoes cook faster if you're baking them right away, and it also prevents the potatoes from getting, I don't know what the culinary term is, icky when you freeze them. Okay, I have melted the butter and the flour with a pinch of salt. I'm going to stir it up with the whisk so that the flour is incorporated into the melted butter. And then I am going to take 2 cups of milk and add that in. This will now cook for 3 minutes. It'll sit for a bit, and then it will cook for 3 minutes again to thicken at the end. This recipe is an old one, and it's one that I did not come up with myself. My mother had a Good Housekeeping cookbook from the 1950s, and this was the recipe for, they called it Susan's scalloped potatoes, which I thought was funny because my name was Susan. I think it was an economical recipe because it includes no cheese. For years, my kids always thought there was cheese in these scalloped potatoes with ham because it tastes so good. But you don't need to worry about having cheese. The sauce is just a basic bechamel. I am going to cut about 2 cups of ham and set it aside. If you would like, while you're dealing with leftovers, if you have a lot, as I probably will, you can either set some aside that you'll need for soup or whatever. Most recipes take about 2 cups, so if you set a number of 2-cup portions aside, just like that, you'll have it ready for recipes in the future. You set them aside and freeze it. So that's it for the ham. I am actually going to throw the ham fat in my stock bag in the freezer. And then I am going to take my potatoes and get them ready for the food processor. You are welcome, if you like it, to leave your peels on the potatoes. I don't. So I am going to peel them first and then put them in the food processor. My vegetable peeler is in the dishwasher, so I'm using a paring knife, and I'm cutting towards myself, so this is probably not something I should be showing on video. If you see me doing this, please don't do it the way I'm doing it. And again, these peels are also going to go in my stock bag, which is going to be used later today because I'm going to be making stock to be used for a bean soup later. Okay, potatoes are done, being peeled. White sauce needs to be stirred. I'm going to let that go one more time as we ready the potatoes, which I am going to cut in slices to fit into my food processor. If you're doing it by hand, you're going to want to cut them into very thin slices. But since these are going into the food processor, it doesn't really matter. I have my food processor set up with the slicing blade in it. I know most people these days use a mandolin, but I really like the speed of the food processor. Okay, that's why I like it. It's really fast. Now we also are going to use 1 onion. Again, the scraps are going to go in my stock bucket. The onion is one of the things that really gives these scalloped potatoes the flavor with no cheese. So these are now going to go into the food processor, and those are all set. I'm going to wait for the water to boil, and then the potatoes are going to go in there. One of the things I forgot to mention that we're going to need is a 9x13 dish to assemble everything when it's done. Bechamel is ready. It gets one little whisk. I am going to take the time to bring out my stock bag. This is one of my secrets of cooking. It's a large bag I keep in my freezer that I put vegetable scraps in. So you'll see I have onions and potatoes from today and a little bit of the ham scrap. I have leftover fat that I trimmed off from the prime rib. I have carrots and celery and probably parsley scraps as well. So this could go back in my freezer. It's getting pretty jam-packed, but I think I'm going to keep it out because I am going to be making stock after this. So while we wait for that to boil, I am going to take out some parsley. To keep my parsley fresh, I have a 64-ounce mason jar, put water in the bottom, I put the lid on the top, and the parsley stays good in here for weeks. I need just about a handful of parsley. So the rest will stay here. This will go back in my refrigerator. I'm going to trim off the ends to go in my stock bag. And then I am just going to roughly chop the rest of the parsley. I'm looking at this ham. I probably have about 6 cups of cubed ham meat on here. I'm not going to need all of that for the soup, so I may freeze some in slices for a meal or cube and freeze the rest to use in recipes in the future, because we're not just going to be eating leftover ham this week. I also have leftover prime rib that will either be roast beef sandwiches or shepherd's pie, and leftover lasagna that I don't repurpose. I eat the lasagna as is. We are going to take this and put it aside, and then I am going to take the 9x13 pan and grease it. Now, usually I grease pans with butter wrappers, but I don't have a wrapper right now because I used them all for the cookie sheets I did for holiday baking. So I'm going to take about a tablespoon of butter and mash it around on the pan. Now, if you are trying to limit your fat intake, you could use nonstick spray, but I find that the butter helps give everything a nice flavor, and with a sauce that is as low on ingredients as this, basically just a bechamel with milk, butter, flour, and salt, maybe some pepper. We're not going to want to use the cooking spray. We're going to want the flavor from the butter. The excess I have is just going to hang out at the bottom. And now we will wait until the water boils and we can put in the potatoes and onions that are in my food processor into the water. Doesn't have to be a rolling boil. You watch now, there are a little bit of bubbles coming up. So we are going to put all of this in here and we are going to do it for 3 minutes. Basically just parboiling onions and potatoes. So all of that goes in there, as well as the parsley we just cut. We are going to boil this for 3 minutes. So the potatoes are just about done. And again, all we're doing is parboiling them. It's equivalent to blanching them before freezing, which helps preserve the integrity of the potatoes. I am probably not freezing it. I'm probably eating this tonight. If I was going to freeze it, one of my other favorite kitchen staples, and I know this is awful for plastic, is one of these hefty 2.5 gallon plastic bags that perfectly fits around a 9x13 dish. So, the advantage of me using the pasta pot, as you can see here, is I can just drain it here, if not carry that boiling water over to the sink. We're going to put about half of our mixed potatoes and parsley in the bottom of a 9x13 pan. You could also use an 11x7. We are then going to pour in about 1/3 of the bechamel, and then I am going to put in all of the ham in the middle, 2 cups, another 1/3 of the bechamel, then the rest of the mixture of potatoes, onions, and then the rest of the bechamel goes on top. I know you may be skeptical about what this tastes like because there's no cheese in it, and if you're a real cheese lover, I am, you can try it with cheese, but I really recommend you do it without first. So that's it. If you were going to bake this right now, I would put it in the oven and bake it for about 20 to 25 minutes, covered, and for 5 minutes at the end, take the cover off and let it get crispy. If you would prefer to freeze it, you can cool it and then put it in the freezer in one of those handy dandy 2.5 gallon bags. If you are so inclined to use a vacuum sealer after it has frozen, you can then take it out, put it in the vacuum sealer so you have a shape that can be put right back in this pan again when you are ready to bake it, and it will last for about 3 to 6 months in the refrigerator. If you have any other ideas for how to use leftover ham or any of the other Christmas leftovers, I'd really like to hear them. Please drop me a note in the comments and let me know what other leftover ideas you have. I have a food and cooking newsletter, absolutely free. It's published on Tuesdays, and this Tuesday's issue is going to be all about how to use holiday leftovers. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it.